April 7th, Parliament was made aware of this discrepancy in the law by the Lions Club, and I think that should be highlighted here this afternoon. The Lions Club requested a meeting with the Education, Culture, Youth and Sport Committee of Parliament, which I was chairing at the time, and made a presentation on Youth Alcohol Abuse Awareness Campaign 2014-15 under the leadership of then Lion Sunil Katnani, if I'm correct, bringing its goal of attention and awareness to the ministry, to the committee, to Parliament and government in order to make the necessary changes to bring the law in compliance. Research shows that drinking is more harmful to teens than adults because their brains are still developing throughout adolescence into young adulthood. Drinking during this critical growth period can lead to lifelong damage in brain function, particularly as it refers or relates to memory, motor skills, the ability to move, and coordination. This presentation will highlight the start of the Lions campaign 2014-15. The document that they used is still available on our P drive, IS 316 2014-15, if you would like to view it in its entirety, and it's not that clear, so members of Parliament can go forward, but I just mainly wanted to highlight the reality of where this came from. The campaign goals were to create awareness among the youth, amongst the general public and parents specifically, and what they came to Parliament to do was to get government to raise the legal drinking age from 16 years, which it was at the time, and enforce the law when alcohol is sold to minors. The fourth goal was to get stakeholders to pledge their commitment and support. They presented the following poster that they had a program of the year which was instrumental, I believe, through press conferences, school presentations, LED ads, radio ads, letters to government, as well as collaboration with the Carnival Committee to place warning posters in the booths, warning those who would sell to minors during the Carnival 2015 and from thenceforth that there were penalties involved. These signs are still visible to date. Stakeholders have also been identified. Stakeholders have been identified for cooperation. So this is a poster that the Lions had presented back in 2015, which is still visible in the Carnival Village booths and would then form a basis for any future campaigns, I would believe. So stakeholders were also identified, and collaboration as its goal to bring awareness to all. As Madam Chairlady has expressed, that on June 1st, 2015, the Penal Code went into effect, which brought that the legal drinking age was raised to 16. However, the Lions in their presentation brought forward an alarming realization that the corresponding legislation, Vergunningsverordening Artikel 50 lid 2, which was further elucidated by the Chairlady, was not adjusted to reflect the increase in age to 18. So that still stands at 16. So when persons request a permit to sell alcohol, their permit still, under the law, gives them the authority to sell to young adults, teenagers between the ages of 16 and 18. So as chairlady of the committee at that time, I took it upon myself to start the initiative, which again I won't go any deeper into based on Madam Chairlady's introduction. I move now to the responses to Parliament as a result of the end report. So in the end report, several questions were asked. Some of the answers to the main queries, because some queries went across the board from members of Parliament at that time, were information related to statistics, information related to, my slide ain't coming up, enforcement of the law, the need for additional manpower, as well as financial consequences. Most of the queries from Parliament centered around there. As is known, many statistics are not available, current statistics are not available on the alcohol intake of youth of any age. As a matter of fact, we don't have any up-to-date information. However, I have submitted letters also requesting, and so in my response to Parliament, I said that they are not available, but they are being requested so that we can have a start position from now. But we do know that worldwide this has been a trend, and St. Martin is no different. So the request of letters for the statistics to be compiled have been sent to the Ministries of Education, TIAT, and Justice, so to get information on the statistics pertaining to alcohol usage below the age of 18, but also statistics on traffic accident caused by underage youth under the influence and other areas related to this field. So information from schools as to whether they have reports of drunkenness in school and or drunken behavior that has been proven by the authorities. I also took note of the advice of the Council of Advice and made most of their adjustments as well. And the concerns and the recommendations of the factions are hoped to be allayed in this report. What needs to be understood is that this is an amendment. It is already an existing law. So many of the questions that were asked in terms of enforceability, government is already charged with enforcing the law as it is, or when it was, even before when it was 16. So any increase in manpower and or financial consequences should not be exorbitant or too high. In the past, we have said we moeten roeien met de riemen die we hebben. And so with all hands on deck, I believe that we should be able to implement this law and by prevention, decrease the need to be able to enforce it as much.
Having a function this Christmas season, boy. Festival Village, 8 p.m. December 8th. Come win prizes with family and friends. You don't want to miss this, seeing that it is time for Wally Hammertown Christmas Bingo Spectacular. Festival Village on December the 8th. So don't be late. Festival Village on December the 8th. Ham and turkey, airline tickets, hotel stays, Christmas goodies, Santa's bag with more to win. Time for Wally Hammertown Christmas Bingo Spectacular. Festival Village on December the 8th. $10 for you to play. Starts 8, so don't be late. Festival Village on December the 8th. Yes, folks. The Lion Wally Hammertown Christmas Bingo Spectacular is on Saturday, December the 8th at the Festival Village. Tickets are available at the Lion's Den, at Van Dorp, at Big D Photo Studio, and from all Lion members, going at only $10, $20, or €10. So folks, get your tickets in time. It's going to be quite a spectacular bingo. Anybody bingo? Nobody bingo.
Tell them, connecting you.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Madam Chairlady, in every household where there are cases of underage drinking, everyone is affected. The result of underage drinking includes cases of violent outbreaks in the home and at school, damage to private property, and vandalism. As a school teacher and a school manager for many years, I can say with absolute certainty that underage drinking is not just a family or even a community problem. It is a national problem. Madam Chairlady, many of our adolescents whose behaviors we question have some history of drinking or exposure to hard alcohol from an early age. Some cases of teenage pregnancy have also resulted from girls and boys engaging in casual and careless sexual intercourse acts inspired by alcohol consumption. Madam Chairlady, in 2007, the U.S. Surgeon General wrote in a report that the short-term and long-term consequences of underage drinking are astonishing in their range and magnitude, affecting adolescents and the people around them and the society in which they live. In fact, according to that report, the rate of illnesses in adolescents increased up to 200%. This is saddening because adolescents who would otherwise be experiencing robust physical health in that age. The report from the Surgeon General also stated an estimated 5,000 people die annually under the age of 21. And of that number, 76% of the deaths are directly linked to underage drinking. In most cases, these deaths occurred when minors went out driving under the influence of alcohol and crashed their vehicles, or rage killings, or homicides, or in some cases, even suicides. Madam Chairlady, this is a global problem and not unique to our island. While we support this initiative by the Honourable Member of Parliament is a step in the right direction, we as a government also acknowledge and humbly submit there is much more work to do. For example, change the attitude of our community about underage drinking. We must recognize that the trend in underage drinking appears for the most part to be consistent with tobacco, followed by the use of alcohol as a combination. We must reiterate the idea that a young adult must not feel good about themselves simply by drinking, but by instilling proper values in our children and letting them know their worth. Madam Chairlady, I believe that rather than an atmosphere of tolerance to underage drinking, we must discourage underage drinking from the onset. This means children should not be sent by their parents to purchase alcohol or tobacco, whether they consume it or not. And parents caught along doing this should be penalized, period. This means store owners play their roles to insist that only adults who have legal age can purchase alcohol and tobacco. Madam Chairlady, we will also need to campaign to each community leader, teacher, parent, brother, and sister to actively engage them in ensuring no one is selling or giving alcohol to an underage child. Through these steps, with consistent community outreach programs and campaigns, we can significantly reduce the number of children who drink under the legal age. And by doing this, we will be saving.
Hey ma, how you doing? You busy?
I hear, just paying some bills, taking care of business, you know what it is?
I know, you're doing your online banking.
I don't have to stand in those long lines to pay bills. I can transfer when I want. I can check my account wherever. It's like the bank open 24/7. I even here checking the statement right now as we're talking. How's Miami?
Well, that's why I'm calling. I'm finishing up a few songs now, but I'm afraid that studio time might be more than I thought. And I was wondering if I could get some help with some funds, and I could pay you back as soon as I get back to St. Martin.
Let me check my account. How much you need?
I think 500 should be enough.
I can transfer it to you while online. Direct from me to you. No problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Ma. I'll get online with Viv now.
Alright, darling. You know who you're for?
I need to know who you're for.
Contact WIB today for your complete personal online banking experience. Available for all mobile devices. The Windward Islands Bank, now your online banking partner in progress.
Who you're for.
We questioned what is in the governing program for the poor and the needy. This time, we are going to look into the National Recovery and Resilience Plan, which was prepared for the coming 7 years by the experts from the World Bank Group, and which was adopted by Government of St. Martin and by the Parliament of St. Martin. What are the plans to eradicate the poverty of the more than 13,000 households in St. Martin? The Prime Minister, in her introduction to the World Bank Group report, stated that the National Recovery and Resilience Plan offers a comprehensive strategy, now it comes, to respond to the immediate needs of the people of St. Martin. Also to address other recovery and resilience needs in the near future. So, we wanted to know what are the immediate needs of the poor and the needy, and we wanted to know what of those needs are being addressed in this report. For today, we will look only at two needs. Need number one is the need to home repair and to build back better and stronger. The second topic will be the need to improve the income of the poor and the needy households. Let's talk about the housing repair and rebuilding proposals that we have seen in the report. The National Recovery and Resilience Plan is called the Roadmap to Building Better here in St. Martin. Well, until now, we have not heard, nor did we read, how many homes have been rebuilt back better, nor how much more have to be rebuilt or repaired. The early recovery funding from the Dutch government targeted only 300 homes, 50 by the White and Yellow Cross Foundation, 150 by the UNDP, and 100 by the St. Martin Development Fund. How much of those 300 homes has been built back better and stronger? The St. Martin Development Fund informed the press this week that they have finished already 92 homes of seniors, and they still have more seniors on their list. The National Recovery and Resilience Plan mentions as top priorities of the National Recovery and Resilience Plan Number one, the basic need of the people of St. Martin, such as food, shelter, health, and psychosocial care, education, and livelihood. And as a second point, the urgent preparations for the peak of the upcoming hurricane season that passed already. Well, let's go back to the content now. How they want to achieve this help for the basic needs of the people of St. Martin. So they wrote in the report, these experts, priority interventions. They include assistance to vulnerable groups to repair their homes and to ensure a basic income to buy essentials, as well as an urgently needed solution to the long-standing problem of the landfill. The report mentioned that St. Martin's housing sector consists of an estimated 19,400 units. The impact of Hurricane Irma on the housing sector was profound and self-evident. Relatively few properties escaped the storm's impact, but there is a marked difference in the levels of damage to housing built in different income segments and in different years. A strong inverse relationship is there between the property damage and income level. According to the Dutch Marines and a declaration of the Minister of Kingdom Relations, 70% of the homes was structurally damaged after Irma. So how many of the 13,580 housing units? This is the 70% of the 19,400. How many of those 13,580 homes have been repaired already? So we don't want to hear of a few homes, 100 homes. We want to hear about the more than 13,000 homes that was damaged. How much money came for it, and how much of those homes have been repaired already.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
Available to St. Martin's Trust Fund. The Parliament of the Netherlands has recently also approved a second tranche of $175.5 million. This tranche will bring the amount of available trust funds to a total of $310 million. In total, the Netherlands has pledged to donate 470 million euros to the trust fund, which is approximately $580 million. This funding will be used in the next 7 years to build St. Martin back more sustainable. With the available funds, 3 large projects are being implemented right now. These are the Emergency Recovery Project 1, the Emergency Income Support and Training Project, and the Hospital Resilience Project. The first project that is being implemented by the government of St. Martin is Emergency Recovery Project 1. This project repairs existing public shelters, support the repairs of severely damaged houses, and strengthens the emergency response capacities of our fire department and other first responders. The project will also support the St. Martin Housing Development Foundation and GEBE and repair a number of critical public buildings, including the police station, the fire station, and a number of damaged public schools. Over the past months, the Interim Recovery Committee, the World Bank, and the involved ministries have been working very hard to prepare the technical documents for the first tenders of this project. To be honest, this has not been a very easy task. And why? Because it is the first time that the government of St. Martin is working with the World Bank, as I have said on numerous occasions. And during last week's press briefing, I already reported the publication of tender for the urgently needed repairs of the police station in Phillipsburg and in Simpson Bay. Today, I'm happy to announce that the Interim Recovery Committee has also published the tender for the first phase of the roof repair program that will be financed by the trust fund. This program will support the repairs of severely damaged houses of low-income families and supplement the existing roof repair programs of the St. Martin Development Foundation, VROMI, and UNDP. On the reconstruction of the airport, there has been a lot of rumors in the past week because of unsubstantiated reports by some media outlets. As Prime Minister, I cannot respond to fake news and false accusations. What I would like to stress is that this government treats the reconstruction of the airport as a matter of high importance for the country and the region.